Thoughts become things, and here's why. What's good, everybody? It's Vaughn, and you know this is where you get that knowledge that you don't get in college. So go ahead and scroll into the description, click the link next to WeBull, and collect your 12 free stocks. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was my sophomore year in college, and I didn't make the football team because the coach said I was too small.
You don't have future here. You don't have future. You can never make it. Think about your life. You are a failure. You can never make it. You need to be cutting grass, making this place fresh for the actual footballers that want to use this place. Me with my pregnancy, I'm better than you.
So I ended up getting a job as a dishwasher at Bar Louie because my mom recently lost her house in a foreclosure. So I knew asking her for help to fund my schooling was out of the picture. And I wanted to be able to send her money because it was the only thing that I felt that I could do to help her at that time. Then I remember one night at work, there was an annual event that's usually the busiest night of the year. And the dishes just kept coming. After I would clean one stack of dishes, there was another 2 stacks coming to replace them. The place was so busy that the restaurant was closed, and 2 hours later, the waiters were still bringing in dirty dishes. And I could tell they felt bad for me because I had only been there for a few months, and they themselves knew that it was a hefty task that I had to complete. As the night went on and all of my coworkers were leaving, there was one chef that stayed back to help me. And while we were back there, he was teaching me some of the techniques that he would use so that he can wash the dishes faster because he used to be a dishwasher himself. That night, he said something that I'll never forget. He filled up the sink with boiling hot water, placed a bunch of dirty dishes in there, then he scrubbed them and sprayed them off and stacked them in a tray and passed them over to me so that I could run them through the machine. While he was passing me the tray, he said, "Do you see that? You have to work smart, not hard." At that very moment, it was like a light bulb clicked in my head. Although that night, I didn't finish washing dishes until about midnight, I had learned a valuable lesson that was worth much more than the flimsy wages I was getting paid as a dishwasher. A few days later, I was messaging one of my high school teammates on IG, and I told him I felt like I should start reading books, but I didn't know where to start. And he recommended that I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and The Secret. And those 2 books changed my perspective on life. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a personal finance book that will change the way you view money.
Dada, why? Why, Dada, why?
This is business.
This is my sweat.
I know, but I did business.
Shut up! Shut up!
This is business.
Hey!
I invested the money.
Stop talking! I will kill you!
Sorry, sir.
Hey! Dada, why?
Business.
And The Secret is a personal development book about the law of attraction. After I read the book, I also watched the documentary on Netflix. And it helped me to understand that your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you like my vibe, just go ahead and subscribe. Also, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change, because brain power has insane power. But you have to flush those negative thoughts, because if you don't, you'll eventually have to pay the cost. At that time, I was also dealing with the breakup, so it was very hard for me to think positively because nothing was going the way that I expected it to.
Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.
But as I continued to consume positive information, I gradually began to see things changing. Every morning on my way to the gym for about 2 weeks, I'll listen to Les Brown, Shoot for the Moon, because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars on YouTube. Meanwhile, I was reading just about every personal development book and finance book that I could get my hands on. Now that I look back at it, I can see how that phase of my life shifted the trajectory of my future and placed me on a path where the math adds up.
The only reason why I went off to college was so that I could try out for the football team. And when that didn't work out, I didn't know what to do with myself. Instead of partying and playing video games, I chose to educate myself because I knew there had to be another way. Working at a job for the rest of my life simply didn't make sense to me, especially because I didn't grow up in a house where my mom had a traditional career. She would have a job here and there, but my fondest memories were when she would be in the kitchen whipping it up while I would be on the couch wrapping the utensils. As I would hear her phone ringing off the hook because people would be placing orders for food left and right. My mom raised my brother and I by herself, and we had an amazing childhood. We traveled, I played sports, video games, had fun outside with my friends, and I went on just about every field trip. So I knew there was much more out there. I just had to figure it out.
As I continue to educate myself, I begin to learn more about the power of our thoughts. And here are 3 ways that your thoughts create your reality. Number 1, electromagnetic fields. Your thoughts generate electromagnetic fields, attracting experiences of similar frequencies. Positive thoughts emit higher frequencies, drawing positive experiences, while negative thoughts attract the opposite. Which is why your attitude determines your altitude. Your energy creates an aura that will either attract or repel people. This all begins in your mind, because what you think about, you bring about. That's why they say misery loves company. Miserable people that are comfortable in that state will continue to disintegrate, because negative thoughts attract negative experiences. Many times they fail to realize that their perception shapes their reality, and there's a duality to all of reality. So it's up to them to choose the perception they'd like to use. Number 2, the subconscious mind. Repeated thoughts with strong emotions impress your subconscious mind, which acts as a missile locked onto a target. It relentlessly pursues the goal, constantly correcting course until it's achieved. This is why it's important to set goals. What the mind of a man can conceive and believe, he can achieve. Which is why it's important to be patient, persistent, and positive, because good things take time and great things take a little longer. Even the process of healing your mind is going to take time. Think about the last time you got a cut. I'm sure you didn't put a band-aid on and then take it off the next day expecting it to be as good as new. Instead, you probably cleaned the wound, placed a bandage on it, and then allowed it to heal. Well, the same goes for your mind. As you continue to consume positive information, you have to give yourself time to adapt to your new way of thinking.
Your mind is like a sponge. As you soak up information, it begins to seep into your subconscious mind. At that point, the information is ingrained in your brain. There are 4 stages of competence: unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. Once you learn something new, it gives you awareness. However, in order to elevate to the unconscious competent stage, it will require repetition. Repetition is the mother of all skills, so you have to repeat it until the mind can't delete it if you want to be unconsciously competent about any given topic.
Number 3, the brain-heart connection. The heart also sends out electromagnetic signals through your emotions. When thoughts and feelings merge, they become a potent force of attraction, amplifying your manifestation power. Cultivate a harmonious heart-brain connection for a life-changing impact. Harness the power of your thoughts and bend reality to your will. This is why many people speak on pursuing your passion, because the emotional attachment is already there. So if you're able to brainstorm a plan that allows you to live life based on the things that you're passionate about, every moment of your life will be meaningful, since you're pursuing a path that's built on a concept that's fulfilling your heart. If you made it this far, I hope you found value in this video, and it's about that time. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so that you're notified every time I make a new post, and build a foundation so that you're no longer stuck on a plantation. Until next time.